When we heard there was a new childcare centre opening up at the Enabling Village, we went to look and then we realised it would be an inclusive school.
We had the honour to visit the school once. It's a beautiful school. They call children explorers. They are like rangers, To me, I feel like every day he goes to school, he put on his explorer uniform. He's like explorer in the woods.
When I see it's so colourful, it's vibrant, the teachers are happy, the children are happy, so it's alive.
Sometimes Saturday, Sunday, she asks me whether can we bring her to school. So I think she really enjoys her time in kindergarten.
When he went into kindergarten, he was very quiet. He was always very reserved and very shy. But ever since he went into kindergarten, because of the activities and the various opportunities, it's actually really opened up and become more sociable, become more vocal as well.
This is Isaac and this one is Sean. This one is John. Sean, you don't talk so much because Sean is shy, right Sean? Oh, yeah. And this is the Animal Queen. And this is Jackson's dog.
Ever since joining kindergarten, she has been more confident. She's able to express herself much better.
You want to try?
Yeah, and also to relate and to communicate with her friends in the classroom.
It's okay, don't be sad.
I think she's more confident, and she's more caring. And in a way, I find her more independent as well, because she's exposed to, I would say, a very independent environment in school. So a lot of things that she needs to handle herself, like having a meal, for example, just a simple thing. She knows that she needs to bring the finished plates to the pantry. Yeah, unlike her previous school where she has a cleaner auntie to clean up her dishes.
There were definitely naysayers about it, because when we shared this with some of the friends, at first they were like, how is this going to work out? Or what if the children always were throwing tantrums and acting up, if they were disrupting class and disrupt the academic curriculum. But we were assured by the news that we had from the management of kindergarten, because you have speech therapists, you have psychologists, you have counsellors.
Nice, wow. And there's also an individualized education plan for each and every one of them.
Hunter, fire alarm.
Okay.
Move fast or slow? Move fast or slow?
Fast.
Can you move slow?
Okay, find the
Why cannot move slow? Will die in the...
Everyone get the same task in school. It's the pace of the task that is being performed that is different. So this is the only place that I realized they have never put a sticker on any of the kids' forehead and say that he's a special need kid. So when I see them welcome other children into the school who are special need, they welcome with the same smile. Everyone get the same smile.
Slowly, baby.
I think that children with additional needs or special needs, they do really need to be treated fairly as well. So having them to interact with the typical growing up kids, I think it's an encouragement for them, and also an encouragement for the parents to being treated fairly as well. My name is Jennifer. I'm Lorraine's mom. Lorraine is 5 this year, so she's in K1. This is her second year in kindergarten. I feel that enrolling her into kindergarten actually encourages her to interact more with the children with added needs, and I think that she turned more caring compared to her last childcare. So I do see a change in her behavior and character. I think she plays a lot with Rin. So she finds that Rin is always very dreamy. She always says that Rin is always walking around. Yeah. So I told her that probably Rin is actually listening to Teacher Daniel, but she prefers to walk around. So then she said, maybe. So I asked her what did she do. So she just bring Rin back to the class and asked her to sit down.
Go to class. Go, run.
So since Lorraine was exposed to different children of different needs when young, she builds up the confidence in herself at an early stage so that she knows how to deal with different kind of people when she grows up.
We are the dirty ones. The big color.
I'm Darren. I have two lovely children. My elder daughter is Phoebe. She's 6.5 years old. She has special needs. She has Down syndrome. And my younger daughter, Natalie, she's 3.5 years old. Yeah, and both are currently studying at kindergarten. Phoebe has benefited greatly in an inclusive environment in kindergarten. In the past, we enrolled Phoebe into AWA EPIC, but we felt that she wasn't really getting the social interaction that she should be getting. Yeah. So we make the decision to pull her out. We tried about almost 10 private or government preschool, but almost all turned us down. So the good thing was then we found kindergarten. The teachers are special needs trained and she had that opportunity to interact, to relate and to communicate with typically developing children as well. So that's a great idea. We as parents, we want Phoebe to be as independent as possible. We want her to have a good quality of life. And we can't be there for her, forever. Yeah. And that would mean that she has to interact, she has to communicate, and she has to be able to relate to the people around her. And I think we should give her the opportunity, and we should start as early as possible.
Hi, my name is Si. My son Pingwen is turning 6 this year. He's been in Kindle Garden since the beginning of last year. Pingwen was previously from another childcare centre. When we realised it would be an inclusive childcare centre and an environment, it actually drew us. It was the deciding factor actually for us.
Wait, can we feel your helicopter? Baby, see your helicopter. I let everybody see the helicopter, but not me.
Because for us, the character development, learning to work with people who are different in every way was very important. So to us, we felt that this would be an environment which would help him develop his social, his character learning to work with others, and learning to help one another. So we do ask him sometimes, so you have certain friends maybe who are in wheelchairs, or they have maybe they have special tantrums, or they need extra help. But that doesn't mention all these things at all. I think because to him it's normal, that it doesn't really stand out. So it's part and parcel of his daily life. So it doesn't really register as something that's really special. And this is exactly why we wanted to send him to kindergarten, to realize that everybody is different and to adapt and to learn to get along and to work with everybody within his environment.
I'm Ada's mommy. Ada is about 5 years old this year. He's very obedient and he's totally respectful of his parents, and he loves his teachers and his friends.
Bye. Bye. See you later. Okay, bye.
When he was about 3, he went to mainstream preschool like any parent would have sent. So he went to one of the neighborhood ones, but he's just way too quiet for 3.5 years. And the kind of fear that a parent would have, that he still couldn't speak at 3.5, it's actually very worrying. All the teachers, they're giving me big words like his sensory issue, speech delay, he has verbal dyspraxia. Big words. The words are too big for me and my husband. I actually don't know what to do. But now after he joined Kindle Garden, and not only he has a present, he is sharing with me his thoughts. And that is the most precious gift.
Oh, Dre! You see? Dre! You try to keep it in you. Dre!
Yeah, it was only until he went to kindergarten and I realized if I refer to how they get Arthur to start interacting with them, and I just follow.
Can you bite?
No.
Bite one.
Why?
Just bite. Just bite one. No swallow, only bite. Okay? Okay? Okay, good. Keep.
I think a lot of the tricks that the teacher do in school when they use non-traditional method to teach even spelling or help them to remember, it really helps, you know.
You still remember the Monday song? M-O-N-D-A-Y.
Monday.
I think one thing good about kindergarten, I think it's very impressive, is the behavior of the child. When the child's behavior is normalized, the child, they're calm, they actually learn faster, and it gives them a sense of security. They feel secure, they know they are learning, and that's where they get the confidence, and they are suddenly they just blossom.
Attention! But why the shot? I don't know. Good job. What?
On the swing.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to go and join your Clara?
Yeah.
I think inclusiveness goes both ways. Okay, for a child with special needs, it gives them the opportunity to interact with the children who are typically developing. For the typically developing children, okay, it also allows them to understand that, you know, my friends who have special needs, they're really not that much different from me.
When you grow up in a very typical environment, you compete among each other. At the end of the day, the child only learns how to compete with each other, and eventually probably they become very self-centered.
When children only think about themselves, they don't see the need of people around them. When they are in a mainstream school, they take it for granted that every child will speak at their speed, but that is not true. So would children still render help to kids who cannot catch up and help them along the way?
If you don't learn this empathy and working together at a young age, it's never going to happen. Academics and the curriculum can be caught up later, especially with help from parents and support at home. But the empathy is something parents cannot give children. And learning teamwork, learning to work together is also something that has to come from an environment of peers and not from parents down to children.
8 plus.
8 plus 10. After 2.
Faster, take. Okay, move forward.
I'm concerned with what happens after preschool, what happens after kindergarten. Yeah, there's no such similar inclusive environment in a primary school mainstream setting. Yeah. And the options for us parents are pretty limited currently.
Why not let Phoebe? I need to take it from him, then I give other people.
It's either we send her to a special education school or we send her to the mainstream primary school.
Good job. Good job.
We are not able to find an in-between, similar to what kindergarten has offered us. And we hope that, you know, something could be done to provide that inclusive environment, even at the preschool, at the primary school level.
He likes playing, hugging,
I think if we want the society to really develop as a whole and coexist together, it's not about how intelligent you are, it's not about how much knowledge you have. It's very much about acknowledging each other's strengths and weaknesses and learning to work with one another. Inclusive education then comes and plays a very important role, because if you don't include and you don't make an effort, then what makes you think that people are going to include everybody in next time when they grow up and when they start making the important decisions that are going to affect and have a very big impact on the person next to us. So it's not just about us, it's not just about our kids, it's really very much about everybody.